This plant is dying because it was watered on a schedule. We often treat watering as a chore to check off a calendar, but pouring water into soil that is already saturated leads to the exact collapse you see here. To keep a plant healthy, we have to look at the soil rather than the date. This illustration shows the shift. We move away from the rigid calendar on the left and toward the physical check on the right. This is called responsive watering. It is a method that relies on the actual conditions of your home to tell you exactly when the roots need moisture. Once you learn how to read these signs, you move from guessing to knowing. Your plants can grow faster and maintain healthier leaves because they are receiving water only when they can actually use it. You only need 4 tools to start: your plant, a pot with drainage holes at the bottom, a watering vessel, and your index finger. Mastering this transition from a routine to active awareness is what separates a confident grower from one who is constantly replacing dead plants. Step 1 is determining if the soil is ready for a drink. We do this with a manual check called the finger test. As shown here, push your index finger into the top layer of the potting soil. You need to reach a depth of exactly 1 inch. The results are binary. On the left, if your finger comes out with dark, clumpy soil sticking to it, the plant is still hydrated. On the right, if your finger comes out clean and the soil looks like dry dust, it is time to water. Step 2 is a hardware check. Before you reach for the water, lift the pot and inspect the base. For this method to work, your pot must have drainage holes. Without them, the water has no way to leave the system. Look at how a sealed pot functions. Because the water cannot escape, it pools at the base to trap the roots in a stagnant environment. This causes the roots to turn from healthy white to decaying black, a process known as root rot. Verifying the soil moisture and ensuring the pot can drain addresses the 2 most common reasons indoor plants fail to thrive. Step 3 is the deep soak technique. Many people make the mistake of a surface sprinkle, where they only pour enough to turn the very top of the soil dark. This diagram shows why that fails. The thin layer of water at the top never reaches the roots highlighted in red. To fix this, you must pour water slowly and evenly across the entire surface. Continue pouring until the water travels through the entire soil block and begins to exit through the drainage holes at the bottom. When you see water physically dripping into the saucer, you have proof that the entire root system has been hydrated. Step 4 is optimizing your timing. The best time to water is in the morning. This aligns with the plant's natural cycle. They use morning moisture to move nutrients through their stems as they prepare for the day's sunlight. Watering at night leaves the soil damp in the dark. Without sunlight to trigger evaporation and nutrient uptake, the stagnant moisture can lead to mold or fungal issues. By providing a deep soak early in the day, you ensure the plant is fully hydrated without the risks associated with sitting in damp soil overnight. Step 5 is the feedback loop. You must adjust your frequency based on the specific environment of your room. A plant in a hot, sunny window will dry out much faster than the same species sitting in a cool, shaded corner. The plant will provide visual indicators of its health. As this glossary shows, a leaf turning bright yellow is a common sign that the soil has been kept too wet for too long. Conversely, if you see edges that are brown, brittle, and curling, the plant is likely not receiving enough water. Then there is drooping. As the text indicates, a limp plant can be a sign of extreme thirst, but it can also happen when the roots are drowning. Whenever you see a plant start to sag, do not guess which problem it is. Go back to step 1 and perform the finger test to find the answer. By combining these visual signs with a physical check of the soil, you can respond to what the plant actually needs rather than following a generic schedule. Once you have checked the moisture, verified the drainage, and performed a morning soak, you have completed a healthy watering cycle. Applying this method consistently leads to stronger growth and removes the uncertainty of traditional plant care. Thriving plants aren't the result of a green thumb, they are the result of using a repeatable technique that respects the plant's biology. Now that you've mastered hydration, click the next video to see how to pair your watering routine with the optimal lighting for your space.